Welcome back, everybody. Movies and Brews. I said I was going to do it last year. I didn't do it, but I'm doing it now. We're going to talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League. It exists. It's finally out. Well, I mean, I'm a couple months late to the game, but either way, let's talk about it. Alright, so, yeah, welcome back, everybody. Movies and Brews, finally back. Hopefully, I'll be able to keep up on it. I'm going to start off with a block of movies that came out this year that I really wanted to review. And then, hopefully, I'll be able to keep up with new releases. God forbid, something else doesn't happen COVID-related, and we can keep new movies coming out, which would be very nice. I'll try to stay on top of it and hopefully get this ball rolling again. It'll be fun. I miss talking about it and drinking some beers. Anyway, today, I want to talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League. So for anybody who knows me, my very first review, actually my first Movies and Brews, Batman vs. Superman, is one of my favorite, not just comic book films, one of my favorite films of all time. Even the theatrical version I loved. I mean, there's a lot of people that didn't like the theatrical version that prefer the Ultimate Edition, which I very much enjoy as well. I fucking love the theatrical version of that. It's very, very high on my list. So for the uninitiated and those who are unaware, because I see a lot of people that don't understand the whole situation online, we're going to turn the clock back to 2017. So Zack Snyder, while filming Justice League, he finished principal photography, but due to a death in his family, his daughter passed away. He had to leave the project. So Warner Brothers brought in Joss Whedon, who directed, the Avengers 1 and Age of Ultron, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, a very famous director, successful director at that. They brought him in to finish the project. Simultaneously, Warner Brothers was not happy with the overall reception for Snyder's previous two DC films, being Batman vs. Superman and Man of Steel. Why, I don't know. I don't know why people don't like those movies. I'll never understand. Anyway, so they saw that opportunity of bringing in Joss Whedon and Zack's leaving the project to rework Justice League to make it a little bit more what they wanted it to be, which we ended up getting in 2017, which, at first, I'm not going to lie, I enjoyed it coming out of the theater. I had a good time. I think I fell victim to the cheap thrills of the movie, being honest. And plus, it was just cool to see the Justice League. I love these characters so very much. And it was cool to see them on the big screen. As I allowed it to saturate over time, it gets more and more sour. And then just learning all the behind the scenes stuff, the abuse the Ray Fisher alleges against Joss Whedon, and even Gal Gadot has come out and spoken and says that there was a lot of abusive behavior and situations that went on with not only Joss Whedon but other people involved in the project. So the whole Justice League situation was an absolute disaster. Fast forward to 2020. After numerous organized online events with fans, with hashtag release the Snyder Cut, flying banners over Warner Brothers, renting digital billboards at Times Square, and raising tens of thousands of dollars for the AFSP, the suicide prevention. They had one final online organized event that even Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot got online for and supported hashtag release the Snyder Cut, which resulted in Warner Brothers, humoring the project and calling Zack Snyder to maybe release his version of the movie. And now the timeline of events for this thing to actually happen, I think there should be an Argo-style movie about just the creation of the Snyder Cut as it is. Forget the movie itself. Make a movie about making the movie, because the whole thing, the pieces that had to fall into place for the Snyder Cut to actually happen is unbelievable. The pandemic, HBO Max surfacing and needing content, and the streaming wars as it is. There's a huge demand for streaming content right now, and it's an actual war going on between these different streaming services. So it was a lot of crazy things needed to happen in order for this movie to be released. So now they're up to speed. They did let Snyder finish the movie. It finally got released this past April, and I absolutely love it. It's everything I wanted a Justice League movie to be. It hasn't replaced Batman vs. Superman for me necessarily, but it's definitely even. It's definitely up there. It's an incredible film. I really, really enjoyed it. I've seen it 4 times now, which is a lot considering that 4-hour runtime. But we're going to get into the pros and cons of what I thought about the movie. So the pros. I think this is through and through Zack Snyder's most Zack Snyder-y movie, if for lack of a better term. I think he's at it was full steam with this. All the action in the movie just felt more visceral than the theatrical cut. And I'm not savvy to cinematography or really anything like that. At least not that much. But every punch felt more visceral. Everything just felt more real, and that everything was just so heightened and enhanced in this version. Everything felt more earned as well. Which then the theatrical cut, I mean, it was a 2-hour movie, and that whole story, that massive story, crammed into such a short runtime. So this really had a lot of time to breathe. Maybe too much time. I'll get into that. Another big improvement this one had over the theatrical cut, the villains. It has to be the villains, because that was the weakest part of the theatrical cut. Steppenwolf was the joke in the first one, and we had one mention of Darkseid in the theatrical version. This one, Darkseid is front and center in this movie. In all of his fucking glory. It's amazing to see Darkseid on the big screen. Well, big screen in my living room. But it's amazing to see. And Kieran, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce his name, but the guy who voices Steppenwolf and actually did the mocap for it. Another actor on this project that was absolutely robbed, because Steppenwolf is... you almost get a little bit of sympathy for him in this movie. It was strange. I found myself kind of feeling bad for him because he wants to earn his way back into Darkseid's good graces, to go home to Apocalypse and everything. So I understand that he has motivation, and it was great. I mean, the performance was great. The design was great. The original design, Steppenwolf, it was amazing. His armor was behaves on its own and everything. It was fucking great. I love that shit. And to get back into Darkseid, Ray Porter, awesome job with the voice performance. I'm not entirely sure if he did the mocap for it, because he gets one action scene. Which was great. The whole history lesson scene, the Lord of the Rings-esque style battle with the Amazons, the Atlanteans, the humans, and the forces of Apocalypse was fucking amazing. Another thing that I really, really loved about this movie, because one of my biggest favorite parts of Batman vs Superman was the score done by Hans Zimmer. So I was a little skeptical when it was just going to be Junkie XL scoring the original one before he got fired. Then they brought Danny Elfman in, then they brought him back for this one. The score, fantastic, save for one tiny aspect of it, which I'll get into a little bit later. Overall, everything is an improvement upon what we got in the theatrical version. I mean, the characters were amazing. Cyborg was great. They were saying the entire time that Cyborg is the heart of that movie, and I never really understood how that would be the case, having not seen it. And then once I finally did it, my God, yeah, he is the heart and soul of this movie, and it's incredible. Ray Fisher did an amazing job. I feel even worse now knowing what happened behind the scenes. Seeing the hard work that he put into that role, and I really hope we get to see him again. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen with that. And it was good to just see the cast as it was meant to be seen. Ben Affleck as Batman. He's my favorite Batman. He is my Batman. I mean, I'm a Batman guy, as you can see. I love all the Batmen, besides maybe like George Clooney or Val Kilmer, but that's up to you guys. It's all subjective. Everybody likes what they like. Ben Affleck is my favorite Batman, and I was glad to see him back as the one that we got in Batman vs Superman versus the diet Batman, the Batman light, the neutered Batman that we got in the theatrical version. And plus, Henry Cavill's glorious return with no weird CGI shit on his face covering up his mustache as Superman. He comes back. It's not a spoiler. If you haven't seen it by now, you're not going to see it anyway, so it's not a spoiler for me to tell you that Superman comes back, but you knew that already anyway. When he comes back, it's God mode Superman. It's fucking incredible. He's just kicking ass to the millionth power. It's insane. Juggling around Steppenwolf back and forth. That's good shit. That's what I want out of these characters. Yeah, so overall, I really did enjoy this movie, but there was a couple things, not too many, but there's a couple gripes that I had. If anything, it's minor nitpicks, I want to say. The biggest one is, and as much as I love consuming content, I love kicking back and watching a long movie. The runtime does feel a little overindulgent, because you could have chopped a little bit more out of this movie and made it really streamlined and tightened everything up, and it would have been fucking perfect. If you cut this down to like 3 hours and change or something like that, I really think it would have improved it. For instance, you didn't need to spend so much time on the weird Icelandic girl singing after Aquaman takes his dip back into the water. I mean, I like the scene and I understand what they're doing with it, but it just felt like it dragged a little bit. There was a couple things. A lot of people complain about the amount of slow motion. That would have saved time. I appreciate slow motion in Zack Snyder's movies. I think it's an artistic choice that he uses, and I dig it. I've dug it ever since he made it part of his style back in 300. So I don't necessarily think that was a negative, but I do think some things could have been shaved down and really could have improved on that runtime. I mentioned earlier that I really like the score, which I do. I love the score. Junkie XL did a great job, but they updated Wonder Woman's theme, and I like it, but in terms of overindulgence, like we were talking about the runtime, literally every time she's on screen, the whatever the fuck it is, it's too much. It was just kind of like, okay, let's move past that. It doesn't have to happen every 3 seconds that she's on the screen. But like I said, I'm nitpicks here, guys. And my final thing is, and like I understand it was the original vision of the movie. It was, this is how it was supposed to be. Unfortunately, due to COVID, he had to film some additional stuff and wasn't able to do it in the style that he normally would. So some of the CGI in the additional scenes that were shot feels a little wonky, especially those 2 scenes at the end of the movie where we see Jared Leto's Joker return in the apocalypse future, and when Martian Manhunter comes to meet Bruce Wayne, which ties into another nitpick. I just felt Martian Manhunter in this movie, I just felt a little shoehorned. That was my initial reaction upon watching it. Like, it just doesn't feel like he's supposed to be in there. And then it turns out he wasn't supposed to be in there. They filmed an actor named Wayne T. Carr as Jon Stewart's Green Lantern showing up at the end of the movie, but Warner Brothers was just like, nah, we're not fucking doing that. Like, they have plans for their Green Lantern HBO Max series that's coming out. So, I mean, I guess that's their reasoning. But still, I mean, huge missed opportunity there. But at the end of the day, we still got the movie. We still got the Snyder Cut. It exists. It's tangible. We live in a world where the Snyder Cut actually got released, guys. So, through it all, it was a crazy, crazy journey to get the movie out. It's a huge win for fandom. Massive win for fandom. Nothing like this has ever happened. And I don't think, honestly, I can't see anything like this ever really happening again, because like I said, the puzzle pieces that had to fall into place in order for this to happen, it's just it was insane. But overall, I love this movie. I wish it was a little shorter so I could watch it more often. I get home late from work. I would watch it if I wasn't getting home at 9 o'clock at night and having to be up at 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning. But it is what it is. We still have it. I enjoyed it. I more than enjoyed it. I love this fucking movie. If you haven't seen Zack Snyder's Justice League, I would definitely recommend signing up for HBO Max. If not even for the Snyder Cut, HBO Max, and I'm not, advertising for them, suck at Warner Bros. I don't give a shit about those guys, but, there's a lot of good content on there, so it's kind of justified with I think it's $15 or something for the month now. I can't really remember. But, in an update to the Movies and Brews rating system, my old rating system, it kind of really didn't make sense. I was going to get away with rating systems to begin with, but I kind of thought maybe, we'll do something beer related. So, I rate everything in 1 to 5 brews. So I give Zack Snyder's Justice League 4.5 out of 5 brews. Highly recommend this movie. If you're a comic book fan, if you're a movie fan, if you're a fan of just good shit in general, and you have 4 hours to spend, sit down, check out Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's all for this one. Like I said, filming a block of these, so I'm going to do 3 more videos. 2 or 3. I think it's 3. Gonna do Godzilla vs. Kong, Mortal Kombat, and something else is not coming onto my head right now. But yeah, check out the other videos. Please like, subscribe, share it around. I'm just getting back up and running. The old channel is back. Thank you guys for checking this out. Hope to bring you more videos every week, and I'll be consistent this time, hopefully. And yeah, cheers. See you next time.